The 5 hunters are now ready to set out on their journey. They will ride for 6 hours a day, resting each night in the gers they find along the way. If all the nomadic tribes on Earth can be said to have one thing in common, then it is their hospitality. Of the 400 Cossacks it is calculated continue to practice hunting in this region, 72 of them have decided to enter the competition, some of them coming from over 300 kilometers away. A long journey, but then this is a very special occasion. They all come dressed in their coats called chapan and the characteristic caps of silk and wolf fur, which are called kepesh. The fact is that very little has changed in the life of these Muslim herdsmen since the end of the 17th century when they settled in this corner of Mongolia, fleeing from tribal wars. A century later, after a number of devastating incursions led by a Manchu emperor and which annihilated the Mongols of the region, the Cossacks gained control of this harsh, extreme land. Today, and because they are isolated by the Altai Mountains and the river Hovd, these hunters have been able to preserve their language, their cultural traditions, and their identity as Cossacks. A common characteristic among them are the owl feathers that decorate their kepesh, the thin black stripes of which represent the verses of the Quran, a kind of lucky charm that protects them and brings them good luck during the hunt. The tomaga, the hood that covers the head of the eagle, is also decorated with silver incrustations, a sign that the owner is not doing too badly in life. In a region as large as Belgium and with just 90,000 inhabitants, social occasions are rare, and so today is a magnificent opportunity to get together, to meet old friends and bring yourself up to date on other people's lives. The atmosphere inside the gers is extremely animated. Gathered around in many different groups, the hunters recount 1,001 battles of their days out hunting. After all, though we are in a remote corner of the planet, they are hunters, and we all know what hunters are like. With so many people, it's also a good chance to practice cook bear, a very popular game in Central Asia, which the Cossacks have been playing since time immemorial. Banned during the Soviet era, cook bear has virtually no rules, though in each country it is played in a different way. The Cossacks compete in pairs, and the entire game consists of getting hold of a sheep or goat skin. At the end, the winner leaves the skin on the ground for the other competitors to fight over. Cook bear is normally played at weddings. At the end of the celebration, when everyone has had plenty of vodka to drink, the bride's father throws the skin onto the ground, and the person that manages to carry it to the ger of the bride's parents will receive a prize, a yak. The difficulty is not just fighting against the other guests. Often the bride's house is so far away that the game can go on for several hours, but a yak is a prize well worth fighting for. The day of the competition dawns clear and sunny. Since the first light of morning, the participants have been taking up their positions at the top of a hill. A certain nervousness can be felt in the air, and not only because it is the first time that so many hunters have come together to test their skills, but also because yesterday inside the Gers many bets were laid, and some may have bet rather too much. The first part of the competition consists of releasing the eagles one by one on the signal of a pennant towards a fox skin pulled along by a horse. The 5 birds of prey that take least time to reach the fox skin will go into the final, where this time the target will be a live fox. Evening is drawing in and the 5 finalists are ready for the grand final. Kumar Khan, the master hunter, is one of them. The competition has ended and the participants go to collect their eagles. Kumar Khan was not the winner, but he doesn't mind too much. Next year he will return with his son Talai Khan and his friends to once again share an art and a tradition which here remains alive, but which unfortunately in his homeland, in neighboring Kazakhstan, died out long ago. With no noisy farewells and more or less in silence, the hunters slowly leave Joy-Jock and head out into their world of infinite spaces and vast horizons. In the Gobi Desert in the middle of October, the grass is drying. For the Tanzendarya clan, it is time to gather up camp and set off towards less harsh lands in which to spend a winter. The cattle and part of the family left at daybreak, while the rest have remained loading the camels and organizing the caravan. For 8 days they will walk, moving northwest to the edge of the desert. Then, at the start of spring, they will travel up into the highlands of the steppe, only to return later to the Gobi. That is what their ancestors did, that is what they do, and that is what their children will do. And that is the story of 3 ethnic groups that live in a world of constant movement, struggling to preserve their most valuable treasure, their culture, which little by little is being wiped out by society engaged in a headlong rush towards globalization.